Hey there, the title of this video is How to Build Muscle If You Have a Fast Metabolism. Now, here's the biggest plot twist of this video. You might not actually have a fast metabolism, okay? I was somebody who was very skinny growing up. I had thought, oh, I just have a fast metabolism, right? That is not true, and that's one of the most common questions I get. How do I build muscle if I have a fast metabolism? How do I build muscle on fasting or keto with a fast metabolism? But the thing is, this is not the case. It could be a variety of other things that are nutrient deficiencies. Okay, so particularly the one that I commonly speak about is anemia, which is low iron. Now, chances are, if you are skinnier, if you are, maybe you're younger, maybe you're older, a lot of the foods you eat might be depleting you of iron and other cofactors that help you actually oxygenate and build blood. Now, the ability to build blood and distribute it to where it needs to go is so powerful when it comes to muscle building, but you cannot fix any problem in your body without building up iron and getting rid of anemia. So we're going to explain this in this video. I'm going to tell you some other tips as well, but keep in mind, if you want to talk to me one-on-one and get to the bottom of your individual situation, go to RomanoKeto.com. We can have a free consultation, and also I have, action plan consultations where you pay up front, pick your exact date, whatever you want the call, and I will talk with you for an hour at least, and then I will spit out a plan for you to get to the absolute bottom of every single problem you might have. Let's get into it. So, do you have a fast metabolism or do you have a nutrient deficiency? Well, here's what I define as a fast metabolism. Let's pretend that you are somebody who is 18 years old. Okay, pretend you are somebody who's 18 years old and you are doing a lot of sports, right? You're doing a lot of activity and you're not really building muscle, right? You're skinny but you're athletic. That may be a fast metabolism. In that situation, the only other area that I would look deeper into would be nutrient deficiencies or anemia. Excuse me if I'm burping, I'm having a glass of wine. Only one. Now, when we're getting into somebody who is not active, if you are somebody who is that same person, you're 18 years old, right? Even if you're older, it doesn't matter for this example, but let's say you're 18 years old and you are not athletic and you're trying to get into the gym, you can't build muscle. Well, you do not actually have a fast metabolism because your body is not used to churning out glucose and using it and basically metabolizing a lot of fuel at once, whether it's fat or glucose. So I talk a lot about keto, and keto allows you to actually use fat, which as the primary fuel. And fat is more calorically dense, it's 9 calories a gram, it's a better fuel, but carbs are like the quick burst fuel that give you that little nitrous oxide boost from like the Fast and Furious movies, okay? You're not meant to run your entire engine off of it, but you do get a significant boost from it when you pulsate it, right? So there's a lot of other benefits there, and I explain how to use carbs strategically in a lot of other videos. But when we're talking about fast metabolism, okay? If you are not athletic, you do not have a fast metabolism. And that's just fact, because you are not metabolizing fuel quickly. The only people who can validly say that argument are people who are very athletic, perhaps they're young, and they're actually running through a lot of fuel. Because if you're just somebody who's skinny, you don't have a fast metabolism. That's just what people told you when you're growing up. When you're growing up, people will tell you, like your uncle will tell you, like, oh, I remember when I had the metabolism, bucko, I could eat whatever I wanted. The thing is, when you're younger, you actually are accessing fat metabolism a lot more. You're accessing the ketogenic state more often. And anytime you burn through your glucose through exercise, you are going to be making more ketones. That's a fact. It's called the Cortis-Douglas effect. Look it up. But the thing is, this is information that you aren't really told. And when we're getting into fast metabolism and muscle building, the whole thing is that somebody who does have a fast metabolism will build muscle pretty quickly, because the definition of fast metabolism is that you metabolize quickly. You break down this fuel and use it efficiently and quickly. And for a lot of people, if you're overweight, right, you will not build muscle. People who actually have a slow metabolism could be people who are very insulin resistant. So if you're somebody who's 18 and you are overweight, chances are you actually might have just as decent of a, technically, you might actually be burning more energy per day than somebody who is 18 and skinny. Because your body is heavier, you require more caloric burn per day. Okay, the only variable is that the person who's overweight and 18 is actually somebody who's insulin resistant. So insulin resistance and insulin sensitivity basically means how efficiently you can use insulin. Insulin is the most anabolic hormone in the body, hands down. And this applies to muscle building and fat tissue. So if you're somebody who eats a lot of carbohydrate, you are going to be dampening your insulin sensitivity, which means every time you eat carbs, it is more likely to get stored as fat rather than be used to boost and fuel your muscle tissues, because it takes more insulin to do those processes, okay? So you're going to be hungry all the time, and the reason why this makes you have a slow metabolism, even though you're probably, if you're somebody who's 18 and 300 pounds, you need to burn a lot more calories than somebody who's 18 and only 120 pounds. You burn through more energy per day than they do to sustain yourself. So by that reasoning, your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, is higher, right? Doesn't that mean you have a faster metabolism? No, it simply means that you are insulin resistant, and when it comes to muscle building, you are less sensitive to the hormonal properties of building muscle tissue. Interesting, right? So here's one, if you're struggling to grasp this, remember, everybody's taught that you are, everything is quantitative. How many calories you eat per day determines what you do, right? If you eat 3,000 calories a day, you're going to build muscle. You're going to, you might gain fat, but it's all determined by the number. It's not all determined by the number. It's also determined by the quality of the foods you're eating. And if you're eating foods that affect a certain hormone, you are going to get a qualitative result, not simply a quantitative one. So what that means is, if you're somebody who eats a lot of junk food, right, it's not just the calories you're eating. It is the high density of sugar within those carbs, called high glycemic sugars, that basically spike the hormone insulin and make you store fat. And they ruin your sensitivity to insulin, which is the most anabolic hormone in the body, right? So hopefully that makes sense. But besides the fact that, let's get to the nutrient deficiencies here. You could also be anemic. You could be low in iron, and also the cofactors that help transport iron, other oxygenation markers in your blood. So, as I've said earlier, if you do not have the ability to use blood efficiently, you cannot do anything in your body. You cannot build muscle. But that's just one piece of the puzzle, and I encourage you to look at my other videos on anemia to get to the bottom of this, besides getting a consultation call together personally where we can, talk this out together, you and I. But the main thing here is that just because you think you have a fast metabolism does not mean you actually have a fast metabolism. You might actually have a slow metabolism because you're not exercising enough. You're not burning through glucose quick enough. You're not teaching your body that after it runs out of glucose, it has to start burning through fat as fuel. You're not teaching your body any of those things that would play in well to muscle building. So hopefully this video answered some of your questions and opened your eyes to a different perspective on fast metabolism, okay? Because I can tell you from my personal experience, I was a skinny kid. And I had gotten fat at certain times in my life. But the point is, if you just think you're skinny, therefore you have a fast metabolism, it's not true. You could actually just be nutrient deficient, you could actually just be insulin resistant, and your diet is just crap, perhaps. I'm generalizing. But the point is, you will get far better results out of doing even a carb backloading routine. That would be a great solution here if you simply keep carbohydrates out of your diet for the daytime, get a workout in that sort of low carbohydrate, low insulin state, and then slam some, then you get the insulinogenic carbohydrates in there. That will basically maximize the anabolic response, as the beginning part of the day without carbohydrates will sensitize you to insulin. But the best way to do this is to get keto adapted first. So basically a keto diet, which means no sugar, no carbs at all, not fruits, nothing, for a month or so straight, and then you start using carb backloading or something of that nature. Or even if you want to have a full-on carb diet, you can do that afterwards. But getting keto adapted is going to improve your insulin sensitivity. It's going to make you more likely to burn through fat and build muscle tissue, especially when you are actually integrating carbohydrates. So hopefully this video opened your eyes. I'm AnthonyRomano. Hit me up on Instagram. And also go to my website, romanoketo.com, if you're somebody who wants to work together one-on-one. We can get to the bottom of your individual situation. And you can also get the Keto Shred program to get all of the best fat-burning tactics, and tactics which might actually help you build muscle while you burn fat, which is not something that many diet and fitness gurus can offer you. So, thank you for watching this video. Peace.